crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point. I repeat, disengage and get the hell out of here.
Joker, it's time to go.
Damn it. I am alive. All of us, synthetic and organic, have been changed. The war is over, and the Reapers are helping to rebuild. Where once they threatened us with extinction, they now bring us the collective knowledge of the cultures that came before. As a galaxy, we can now live the lives we have wished for. Taking our first steps into a new and wonderful future, where organics and synthetics can coexist peacefully. With peace across the galaxy and with unlimited access to knowledge, to recover the greatness that was lost. And surpass it. We will reclaim our worlds and the stars. As the line between synthetic and organic disappears, we may transcend mortality itself, to reach a level of existence I cannot even imagine. And we will remember that this chance for a new life did not come without cost. No matter how far we advance, we will remember the sacrifices of those who made it possible. And we will remember Shepard. Because of him, I am alive. And I am not alone.
I don't like this ending. I really don't. Emotionally, it is very satisfying. I love Edie's narration, I love seeing the maskless quarian with the gaff, and I thought Edie hugging the love interest was a very nice touch. From an emotional point of view, this ending works great. But logically, I just can't get behind this ending. For one thing, it still makes no sense to me. The explanation given by the catalyst is just nonsensical. Altering all life in the galaxy at a cellular level simply seems impossible. It is, as has become a popular term, space magic. I know that technically so is the Mass Effect, but that's an integral and internally mostly consistent part of the lore. This came from nowhere, has no explanation, and is just nonsense. What does a new DNA even mean? That everyone has freaky green eyes now? I also still don't know why the Crucible can do this. Destroy makes sense, as it is what the Crucible was designed for. Control makes sense, since it still targets the Reapers, which is what the Crucible was meant to affect. And there may have been people who fought like the Elusive Man amongst the people who modified the design over the countless cycles that it's been around. But Synthesis? Why? The only thing I can think of is that it's part of the Catalyst's experiment. If my interpretation is correct, if the experiment that Leviathan mentioned was the Catalyst's attempt to reach Synthesis, then it may be that the Crucible was part of that experiment. It may have noticed the Crucible's early plans and used indoctrinated agents to alter its design over the cycles to help it reach Synthesis. All it then needed is for someone to deploy the Crucible and voluntarily pick Synthesis. And like a rat in a maze, this ending is Shepard agreeing with the Catalyst and doing exactly what it wants. That's ultimately one of my biggest issues with Synthesis. This is what the Catalyst considers the optimal solution. Well, the Reapers were its solution too, and we saw how well that worked. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think listening to this intelligence is remotely a good idea anymore. Even if he's right, even if Synthesis is inevitable and the final evolution, even though evolution has no direction and can therefore have no endpoint, I'd still prefer to get there by ourselves rather than having it forced on everyone. Because that's what Shepard is doing. It's making that choice for everyone. I'm not entirely sure what the Catalyst meant by that it couldn't be forced, as apparently it took only one organic to agree. Or do you really think that the Yag, or the Vorcha, or Fleshermaws would all voluntarily pick this? What about pre-spaceflight societies? Can you imagine waking up one day as an organic synthetic hybrid because some guy from some species you never even heard of decided it was a good idea? Because, as we're told, all life in the galaxy is affected. Even plants, apparently, based on the cutscenes. I'm sure I'll have much more respect for my geraniums now. And, like with Destroy, how does it distinguish between software AIs like the Geth and other software? Is Avina alive now? Shepard VI? My toaster? Okay, probably not the toaster, but hopefully you get my point. Then there's the idyllic way the post-synthesis world is described. Everyone's one big happy family now. Peace out, man! Remember what Mordin said in Mass Effect 2 about how limitations drive advancement and lack of challenges causes a culture to stagnate? This comes dangerously close to that. He also stressed how premature advancement could be dangerous, as with the Krogan uplift, and that too applies here. Bottom line is, while the cutscene is nice and I can see this as an emotionally satisfying ending for many people, I just cannot square away the logic behind it. I cannot believe my Shepard would ever think it was a good idea to make this kind of decision on behalf of the entire galaxy. Just like Control gives him too much power, he also does not have the right to make this decision. Add to that the sheer impossibility of it all, and the fact that we're basically dancing to the Catalyst's tune, and hopefully you can understand why I didn't pick this.
Did that all really happen?
Yes, but some of the details have been lost in time. It all happened so very long ago.
When can I go to the stars?
One day, my sweet.
What will be there?
Anything you can imagine. Our galaxy has billions of stars. Each of those stars could have many worlds. Every world could be home to a different form of life. And every life is a special story of its own.
Tell me another story about the shepherd.
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.